There are so many things that we need to explore when looking for the best neighborhood in Kelowna to move into. Of course, it has to fit the lifestyle we are looking to live. Schools are important if that's a part of your life, and potentially commute time. Affordability is likely right at the top of the list. So when working with buyers, these factors definitely come into play all the time. Affordability is a driver, there is no doubt about that. And so on today's video, we're going to explore the top 5 communities that saw the largest drop in pricing over the course of the last 6 months. Now, this is certainly important information when making the decision about which community to invest in. You want to stick around though, because in the second half of this video, I'm also going to cover the top 5 communities in Kelowna that might be the best community to invest in from a buy and hold perspective. So these are communities that saw the lowest drop in pricing over the course of the last 6 months. All right, before we do that though, I have to ask you to go ahead and like this video, share it with someone that you think needs to see it, and then hit that subscribe and notification bell so that you can be notified the next time we load a video up to the channel. All right, let's get after it. Welcome to Live Love Kelowna. All right, well, in the world of real estate, a drop in prices can illuminate opportunities too good to pass up. For those with an eye for value, here are the communities where prices have softened, making them prime areas for buyers seeking exceptional deals. All right, we're starting with number 5 here on the list, and that is Kelowna South. Kelowna South has seen a drop in pricing from August of 2023 of 8.2%. So now, in case you're wondering where Kelowna South is, when you look at this map, you'll see the neighborhood boundaries south of Bernard, east to Birch. Of course, the lake is to the west, and it goes all the way south to KLL Road. A lot of Kelowna South is actually made up of high density and fewer single-family residences. In fact, less than half of the active listings in Kelowna South right now are single-family dwellings. Okay, number 4 on the list is Southeast Kelowna. This Southeast Kelowna saw a drop of 8.3% over the course of the last 6 months. Now, Southeast Kelowna is basically any property east of Benvulen, Casorso, and Bedford, as well as anything pretty much south of KLO, and this would include Gallagher's Canyon as a point of reference. Now, there are a lot of rural properties in Southeast Kelowna. A little less than half of the current listings are made up of acreages, farmland, and single-family dwellings on sites of more than an acre. Now, if you're living in Southeast Kelowna, you're pretty much driving for everything you need. Just a quick heads up. Okay, number 3 on the list is Kettle Valley with a drop in pricing over the course of the last 6 months of 8.4%. Kettle Valley is a suburb of Kelowna located in the extreme south end of the city and on the east side of Okanagan Lake. Yes, you pretty much have to drive to get to anything from Kettle Valley, but they also have all 3 levels of schools, some local shopping, and one of my favorite places, Kettle Valley Pub on Main, as well as lots of parks and walking paths. Okay, number 2 on our list is Wilden, which saw a drop of 8.8% over the course of those last 6 months. Now, Wilden is located in the northwest section of the city, is one of the only communities left in Kelowna where you actually still be able to build a brand new home for a few years yet to come. Wilden is close to the university, is close to downtown, shopping, also has all 3 levels of schools, making it a very attractive community for families. All right, here we are, the number 1 community over the last 6 months that saw the largest drop in benchmark pricing was Crawford Estates. Now, they saw a massive double-digit drop of 11.6%. Crawford is located just north of the Mission and east of Gordon Drive. You'll definitely find lots of larger lots in Crawford and a mix of older and newer homes in the community. Now, there are all kinds of stats that we could look at in terms of pricing. We could look at year over year. We could have looked at all of Q4 from 2023. We could have just looked at the month of February. Now, I chose to look at the last 6 months because I feel it's indicative of where the market could be headed. Like I mentioned in my last market update, we are seeing a big spike in single-family pricing right now, which in my opinion is not stable and will likely see a drop-off over the next 6 months. Very similar to what I've just illustrated here. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's look at the communities over the last 6 months that saw the smallest drop in single-family pricing. All right, number 5 on the list of communities is McKinley Landing, coming in at a drop of 4%. Now, if you don't know where McKinley is, it's actually north of Kelowna, past the university, and up Old Glenmore Road. It's actually a community built into the mountainside with insane views of Okanagan Lake. Part of the community goes right down to the lake, and some of those properties, if purchased, could actually come with a boat slip. All right, number 4 on the list is Ellison, which is actually just east of just east of the airport in the north end of the city. The drop there came in at around 3.7% in the single family sector. All right, moving to number 3, we see West Bank Center, which came in at a drop of 3.6%. Now, West Bank Center is, as you probably guessed it, in West Bank, and it's actually situated on First Nations land out there. It is quite a large community that actually straddles Highway 97 and goes all the way down the lake via Boucherie Road as far west as Shannon Lake Road. Okay, number 2 on the list of communities with the lowest drop in pricing over the course of the last 6 months was Peachland. It saw a drop of about 3.5%. Of course, if you travel south on Highway 97 for about 20 minutes, you'll run right into Peachland. It's a smaller bedroom community that straddles the highway and runs right along Okanagan Lake. I'm telling you, views for days. All right, here we are with number 1, the number 1 community that held its value the best over the course of the last 6 months. Now, if you're local to the area, you might actually be surprised by this. It was Glen Rosa. Glen Rosa came in at number 1 with a drop of 2.9% over these last 6 months. Now, Glen Rosa is also located in West Kelowna. It's south of West Bank on the west side of the highway, and there are 35 homes listed for sale right now in Glen Rosa. The vast majority of them are single-family properties. In fact, the most expensive home right now in Glen Rosa is a brand new grade-level entry home with over 3,300 square feet and gorgeous views of the lake for about $1.5 million. Now, your dollar is going to go just a little bit further in Glen Rosa than a lot of the other communities that we mentioned here today. The kicker here is that your commute time is going to be quite a bit longer as well. Now, as we chart the ebbs and flows of the Kelowna's real estate market, it's very clear that both buyers and sellers have much to gain by keeping a pulse on community trends, and that's what I'm here trying to do for you. Whether you're captivated by a prospect of snagging a bargain in the community poised for growth, or you're leaning towards the stability of a steadfast investment, Kelowna's diverse neighborhoods offer a spectrum of opportunities to fit every aspiration. Essentially, guys, it comes down to knowing the lifestyle that you want to live, understanding your budget, and what that will allow for in terms of the size and the style of your home. This is ultimately going to begin to dictate the community that you will be looking to make an investment in. There's just so much to look out for, and I'd be happy to be your guide on this journey. So if you're looking at getting into or out of Kelowna, then we should probably talk. As always, you can email me at info@livelovekelowna.ca, or you can call or text my cell number 403-827-7527. Alternatively, you can click on the link below in the description and book in with me through my calendar. We can meet in person for a coffee or a beer, or over Zoom, whichever is most convenient for you. All right, that's all I got for you. We'll see you on the next video.